Everybody stand by. Here we go. And 3, 2.
All right. What do you think, Tony?
Now we are.
I think we're live. Mics are hot, right? Mics, yes.
They
Check,
don't
check.
They don't feel hot.
And I have this. I have this somebody else on my screen. I don't know who this is.
Who is that? You one?
I don't know.
I don't know who that is either.
Anyway.
All righty. Are we ready to kick this off or what?
Yes. All you.
All right. Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to the North Georgia Amateur Radio's Regional Net. KM4GA presents the newest and most interesting net on amateur radio. Tonight we are live from Studio Vanguard, we are linked in with the following repeaters.
Good evening. Tonight we're linked in to Biscayne at 444.625, Buckhead at 442.025, Currahee Mountain 444.225, Fort Mountain 442.850, and Hobbit at 444.350.
This net takes place every other Thursday evening at 7 p.m. I would like to thank all of you that have joined in our mission to promote and exercise the arts and science and enjoyment of amateur radio. We further seek to cultivate and develop the next generation of radio amateur, both young and old.
Your net control tonight is November 0 Delta Lima Mike. My name is Dana, and you are?
I am. What is my call sign?
I don't know your
Kilo
call sign.
November
Let me pull the log
4 Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin.
I'm KQ4TSB Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Sierra Bravo, and my name is Jim.
And I am N4TVZ Tony.
And I am KR4HBU Rogers.
All right. On this directed net, we will discuss this week's topic and other topics of interest. We will not discuss politics, religion, or any subject that becomes abusive or disruptive. Our goal is to bring people together, to find common interests, and to be productive and informative, or to have productive and informative conversations. All conversations should be enjoyed as though family members are in the room. Anybody that has a valid FCC amateur call sign they're more than welcome to join in.
So tonight's topic, we're going to talk about the next step in amateur radio, field operations in amateur radio. Exciting.
Who edited these documents?
I don't know.
Ah,
We're getting the flow down a little bit better, though, aren't we?
yeah. All right. So
You want to take a break?
yeah, let's take a break. We got a little flashy light there. It says we need to. Be right back. All right, Jim. You ready?
No, I'm still
No.
smiling.
You doing the doom scroll there?
Doom scroll. Get back to the
Possible.
top. Where's the top?
All right. Tell me when you're ready. Actually, when you're ready, just go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is KQ4TSB, and my name is Jim with this week's news and announcements live from Studio Vanguard. Tune in tomorrow night for the North Georgia GMRS Network's Friday Night at 9 Simplex Challenge on the Monument Repeater. Tune in to learn about emergency comms and the use of simplex frequencies. Also, beginning at 7:15, the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association's Friday Night at 9 2-meter simplex challenge on the N4 KHQ repeater. Come and test your radio's reach in the world of simplex. And don't miss Saturday Night Sessions, a ham radio talk group with your host Dana, while he talks about emergency comms, simplex, and footprint maps. So tune in Saturday at 7 p.m. on any NGARA network repeater. The Peachy Trunk Fest and Swap, April 11th, 2026. Join the Fayette County Amateur Radio Club, KK4GQ, for a morning of buying, selling, and trading gear directly from your tailgate. Where? The Harps Crossing Baptist Church in Fayetteville, Georgia. When is it? April 11th, 2026, from 9 to 11. It's free, and there are no seller fees. Bonus, free coffee and donuts while they last.
So when is this? Saturday?
It is April 11th from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
That's this
11
Saturday.
a.m. This Saturday.
Yeah, fantastic. All right,
And it's free.
fantastic. So yeah, I think you should go.
Absolutely.
Are you going to go?
This Saturday? No. I will be activating in a park then.
Okay.
So whether you're looking for your first rig or clearing out the shack, this is the place to be, and all are welcome. For more info, go to https://kk4gq.org/Petrie. Peachy.
Peachy,
Peachy, not Petrie. Definitely Peachy.
like Petri dish.
That's where I went.
Oh,
Sellers, please sign up in advance to reserve your spot.
impossible to say
Impossible
URL.
to say. We will.
Yeah, so I think what they want is for sellers to sign up in advance. Go to the kq4gq.org /Peachy website and look for a link for their reservations for selling. I think they'd like for you to register, but I think if you can't figure it out, just show up and we'll sort it out.
Sell your stuff or buy something.
on the ground.
Yes, sir.
What else we got?
Well, for amateur video operators, we've got the Georgia QSO party taking place this weekend, the 11th and 12th, in 2 different time slots. So this competition isn't all weekend long. It happens during these 2 time slots. On the 11th, it's from 1400 hours to 2359. And on the 12th, it's from 1000 hours to 1759. And we're going to break. It's a great chance to work all Georgia counties for that award, make new friends, hey, maybe even close to you. Next weekend, the April 18th and 19th, is the Georgia Parks on the Air weekend, running concurrently with the Support Your Parks weekend. The goal is to get all 52 state parks activated. So if you're working on an Activator Award, Hunter Award, Worked All Counties Award, or you just want to make some contacts, this is going to be a great weekend. Bring a friend. Also, don't forget, all the contacts count for other awards too, like the QRZ USA 250 Award, where you want to make 250 U.S.-based contacts with 250 U.S.-based stations. You can apply the other parks as part of your America
Stand
250
by.
Award.
No RF.
Uh-oh.
No
The-
RF.
Those on the YouTube side, we're getting word that we don't have the RF side going.
They're in the know.
Why we have that break?
Okay. Yeah, we're. I don't know why I'm hitting the PTT if we're not on the air. But we're not on the air, so let me see if I can figure this out.
Blame it on me. Did I break something?
No, the node tool is just being unresponsive, so I'm going to log out of it and then log back into it.
Well, that
And
gives me time to pull up the Georgia Parks on the Air website.
It's
I missed
kind
that
of like
one.
turn it off and then turn it back on.
OFF button.
Yeah. All right, so those addresses are correct, and we are. All right, so Jim, you want to go from the top on the announcements?
Oh, all the way on the top.
No.
Well, I mean, if we need to.
Oh,
let's-
so we
let's
didn't
do it.
get none of that was on the RF.
None of that went over the air apparently. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So Dana's got to start over to, or Dana's part got all that.
well, I don't think
no,
we're
I
going to
think
start.
that was just Jim's.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're not going to start the intro all over, but I think that
We might want to.
we should probably start the announcements over. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, so we're going to bounce this over to. Well, I'll tell you what we should do since we weren't on the air, because we all need to identify.
Correct.
Noodle, you want ID?
Sure, November Oscar, Delta Lima Mike. My name is Dana.
This is Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin.
This is Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Sierra Bravo, and my name is Jim.
And this is November 4, Tango Victor Zulu, Tony.
And this is Kilo Romeo 4 Hotel Bravo Uniform, KR4 HBU Rogers.
And we are KM4GA.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead with those announcements.
And for everybody on YouTube, sorry, you're going to hear this again. Good evening, everyone. This is KQ4TSB, Jim, with this week's news and announcements live from Studio Vanguard. Tune in tomorrow night to the North Georgia GMRS Network's Friday Night at 9 Simplex Challenge on the Monument Repeater. Tune in to learn about emergency comms and to use the simplex frequencies. Also beginning at 7:15, the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association's Friday Night at 9 2-meter simplex challenge on the N4 KHQ repeater. Come and test your radio's reach in the world of simplex. And don't miss Saturday Night Sessions, a ham radio talk group, with your host Dana, as he talks about emergency comms, simplex, and footprint maps. So tune in this Saturday at 7 p.m. on any NGARA repeater. The Peachy Trunk Fest and Swap, April 11th, 2026. Join the Fayetteville County Amateur Radio Club, KK4GQ, for a morning of buying, selling, and trading gear directly from your tailgate. Where? It's at the Harps Crossing Baptist Church in Fayetteville, Georgia, on the 11th of April. That's this Saturday from 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. It's free. No seller fees, no admission fees, and they've got free and coffee and donuts while they last. So whether you're looking for your first rig or clearing out the shack, this is the place to be. All are welcome.
Yeah, how much is it?
It is free. It's this Saturday
Saturday?
from 9 to 11 a.m.
And where is it?
It is at Harps Crossing Baptist Church, Fayetteville,
He
Georgia.
could have just asked you to read it again, couldn't
Ah, fantastic.
No, that's more fun this way.
he? It's more fun. Well,
You
in
catch me
my
later.
announcements, it's not in here.
Oh,
Over here on my page, just that what you're talking about is not in here.
excellent.
That's okay. Sometimes we're not even on the air.
If you want to get more info, just go to https://kk4gq.org/peachy, and we're going to take a break.
Are you looking at week 15?
No, actually not.
That may be hard
You
to
left
find.
week 14 up.
For any amateur radio operators, the Georgia QSO party is taking place this weekend, the 11th and 12th of April, in 2 time slots. On the 11th, it's from 1400 hours to 23:59, and on the 12th, it's from 1000 hours till 17:59. It's a great chance to work all Georgia counties for that award and make new friends, maybe even close to you.
What time is that in
In regular time?
I've never been in the Army time.
And I've never been in the Army time on 11th of April. That will be from 2 p.m. till just before midnight.
I thought we weren't going to let Jim scroll himself. I thought we were going to make that do automatically.
And,
Just saying.
and on April 12th, it's from 10 in the morning until a minute before 6 p.m. And it's a great chance to work all Georgia counties for that award and to make new friends. Next weekend, the 18th and 19th of April, is the Georgia Parks on the Air weekend, running concurrently with the Support Your Parks weekend. The goal is to get all 52 state parks activated. So if you're working on an Activator Award, Hunter Award, Worked All Counties Award, or just want to make contacts, it's going to be a great weekend. Bring a friend. Don't forget, all those contacts count for other awards too, like the QRZ USA 250 Award to make contacts with 250 U.S.-based stations. And you can apply all those other parks to part of your America 250 Award. That's a special Logbook of the World Works All States Award with a special design. Also, on April 18th, the NGARA will be hosting its first amateur radio test. The test will be at the Rose Creek Public Library in Woodstock. It's at 4476 Town Lake Parkway. Testing will require pre-registration and will begin shortly after noon. You can pre-register at https://larc-vec.org/home.php, or just go to Google and Google Laurel VEC and search for test sites in Georgia. Choose Woodstock.
Woodchuck?
Woodchuck?
Well, no,
How much wood could a
You're
woodchuck?
probably going to have a better time finding it if you put Woodstock in.
But if you can find a test session in Woodchuck,
That would be
be
impressive.
pretty cool.
That would be a cool place to test. I am planning on taking my extra test that day, so I've been studying for it, and that is my goal to do that during one of our first tests.
Well, there is a development
Uh-oh.
with relation to the testing. In true amateur fashion, there's been some miscommunication with the library.
Yep.
So we have 2 choices, and I'm trying to keep both options open
You're
until
not doing it in the parking lot, are you?
I learn. We have 3 choices.
Okay.
All right. You just opened up another
There you go.
opportunity
All right.
there. So there's 3 choices.
No, it's a drive-through.
Let's not take anything off the table.
The parking lot is one of the options, but probably not one that we'll pursue. We do have confirmation of a room at the library. Let's break. a room at the library from 3 to 5. So the noon time, apparently, I goofed and didn't confirm that. I'm not entirely sure. I thought I did. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I've got an email that said that we had it reserved. So one way or another, somehow or other, our time at the library got bumped. So we can either go from 3 to 5, or we can change venue and hold that time. So I'm going to check in with the people that have registered and see what the preference is from folks that have already registered. And then I have to check in with my VEs to make sure that they have also availability for either a change of venue or a change of time.
I'm going to register as well.
Okay.
But that'll
Now,
give me, that'll actually,
Do you have a lot already registered or no?
I have one already registered, and 8 or 9 that are telling me that they might or might not, that they probably maybe could.
yeah, that time will be perfect because JR's is that weekend, so I won't have to rush my meal.
Oh, that's right. It's 3
so-
o'clock, so you'll
yeah.
be well done at JR's.
Right.
Yeah, and
Leave
have
there around 2.
okay,
So
excellent.
What time are you thinking to moving it to?
3 p.m.
Oh, we timed out the note. Let's break again. All right, let's see if that was a big enough break to reset our tiny world. All right.
Smaller and smaller every day. So you're thinking it's going to be 3 o'clock in the afternoon then?
Well, I'm like I said, I'm going to check with the people that are registered, and they're going to carry that vote.
Okay.
So I'm good either way.
Might be back by then.
And we'll see. So and maybe wedding duties. I don't know, man. Weddings tend to be an all day thing.
Well, it's late Friday night, and
Oh.
then something with the family on Saturday morning, and then so I don't know what time we're coming back Saturday.
Okay, all right.
I might be there.
We're not going to count on him.
Nobody knows. Nobody. Thanks.
Family first.
That kind of hurt, Rogers. You know.
All right.
Anyway.
Do you have more announcements?
I have a bunch more
Oh
announcements.
Lord.
We haven't even gotten to the Peachtree Road race, which is coming up on July 4th. This relies on a huge number of volunteers, including dozens of ham radio operators, to keep the event running smoothly and safely. We are in the early stages of sign-up and planning for the 2026 Northside Hospital Peachtree Road Race, PRR, the world's largest 10K road race. Yes, there's a new title sponsor. Shifts range between 0400 hours, that's 4 in the morning, and 11 a.m. on Saturday, the 4th of July, 2026. Depending on assignments, positions include water stops, pace cars, shadows, start and finish line assignments, call takers, and the Multi-Agency Coordination Center, the MACC. Please sign up as early as possible so that we know how many volunteers we'll have, and that's going to dictate what services we can provide to the medical branch during the event. To sign up, go to, and this is probably an unreadable.
I would just say go to the AtlantaTrackClub.com webpage
Well said.
and figure it out from there. So go to the AtlantaTrackClub.com webpage. Look for their volunteer links and buttons.
It's
and,
right up at the top.
and pursue that. So
Very top of the line.
In the past, when I've been there, it's not been all that hard to figure out. So just follow those links. The URLs that we have are not something we can really read over the air. So AtlantaTrackClub.com. Please consider volunteering your time for this event. Whether you volunteer on behalf of North Georgia GMRS, North Georgia Amateur Radio Association, or any other club, please consider volunteering and helping out with that. There's always a huge demand for radio operators, and they're even willing to take GMRS operators. So if you have a GMRS license, offer that to them so that they know that you have options. If you have an amateur license, offer that to them so that they know you can fill either role. And if you just want to be a call taker, then I think they said to enter call taker as a call sign. So that'll let them know that, okay, I'm willing to do any of these roles. And I think if you do that, that makes you the most valuable in terms of, okay, this is somebody we can plug in wherever we need the extra help. So consider that. Let's break. Okay. Back to you.
Excellent. Oh, we have a password. So if you're going to volunteer from the ham side, the password that you would enter is PRR26ham. That's Papa Romeo 26 Hotel Alpha Mike. PRR26ham in the password field. We can use call takers in the MACC to answer phones and forward requests to the medical branch. If you are signing up for the call takers, as Justin just told us over here, make sure that you sign in call taker. Otherwise, any amateur call sign or GMRS license that you may have. Not sure what's involved? Check out this great video produced by hamradioprep.com about the 2024 PRR. So go to hamradioprep.com and you can find that PRR video and a very long URL that we will not be saying over the network tonight.
All right, most important part.
Okay.
This is pretty, absolutely.
What
All right.
is-
Well,
the
this is the
gatherings?
part. This is the part about the food and gatherings.
Food.
Listen hard.
Food.
We have some upcoming gatherings to tell you about this week that are right around the corner. So pay attention. Grab a pencil and put these on your calendar if you're interested. These meetups are a great way to meet and follow fellow members in and around your area. The Kennesaw Gathering will have our Meet and Geek on Tuesday, April 14th at noon at the Old Town Grill on Cobb Parkway around the corner from the McCollum Airport in Kennesaw at noon. Bring your radio or mesh-tastic programming issues to discuss and resolve. They'll have a mobile test bench available after the lunch where they can test and program the most popular radios or help you set up your mesh-tastic node. Please reach out to Ed, Atlanta 557 beforehand, on the air, or via email at wrqg806@gmail.com if you're planning to attend so they hold enough seats for you and so that they can try to have the right programming cables and software available. Ask Rogers about the Peachtree County Lunch.
Oh, the Peachtree County,
Actually,
Waters.
Pamela is updating. She's updating the script right this moment.
Wow.
Really?
Ah.
And
Is it
so
up there?
she has
She's not going
entered.
to get Ernest to read it, is
Yeah,
she?
she has entered in the Peachtree Corners Brunch Bunch meets at JR's Log House, which is located at 6601 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. That's right on top of the hill. If you drive past it, it's okay. You can turn around and come back because that's exactly what I did. Put a spring in your step and join us on the third Saturday of each month. Soonish? I bet that's noonish.
I'd say that's safe to say.
I think that's noonish,
Noonish.
until 2:30 or 3. They do tend to kind of hang and visit, and it's very good. April 18 will be this month's gathering, so that's the same day. So you can go to Pamela's Brunch Bunch
Right.
and enjoy a nice meal, and then drive on over to Woodstock and take your amateur radio test. So check out their, what is that, wide variety of breakfast with flying saucer-sized pancakes, fresh daily vegetable menu, and the rest. Bring your appetite for some tasty vittles. Back to you, Jim.
Excellent. Oh, we got a break. The Northeast Crew Lunch just celebrated its third year of lunch at Rooster's Cafe. Big thank you to all the folks who have attended these through the past past 3 years. It's been a great meeting. It's been great meeting so many people with common interests in radio that we all share. Our next meeting for April will be on April 29th. We are always happy to see new faces on the last Wednesday of each month. Find us at Rooster's Cafe in Dahlonega for great conversations and laughs. For more information, contact Atlanta 403 Bobby, Kilo, Quebec 4 Mike Juliet Lima, or Gainesville 44 Joe, Kilo, Quebec 4 Mike Juliet Oscar. Moving on to Chattanooga Regional GMRS and NGARA Skywarn Group meets at noon the third Friday of every month at Champy's Restaurant on East Ridge. This month it will be on April 17th. The address is 6515 Ringgold Road, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37412. Phone number 423-602-5999. It's right off I-75 at exit 1, just across the Georgia-Tennessee line. Look for a bunch of boring old guys sitting in the back section talking about radios and stuff.
And one new ham in there, too, right?
And one new ham in there.
Yeah.
One new ham.
Brand new ham.
Mhm.
And I see him, he logged in on YouTube.
Very nice.
Oh.
Very nice.
Well, all are welcome regardless of licensure, club affiliation, or preferred brand of radio. Submitted by Jonathan Chattanooga 30. And the big one, listen up, I'm only going to say this several times. North Georgia GMRS is pleased to announce our next social event, the 5th annual cookout hosted by the Smith family. Trey, Gainesville 287, Lynn, Gainesville 286, and CV, Gainesville 285. When is it? It's on Saturday, May 9th, and we plan to eat around noon. The site will be open for parking at 11 a.m. Where this year we are excited to announce that this event will be held once again at the infamous flagship repeater site high atop Sassafras Mountain in Pickens County, Georgia. The address there is 2996 Monument Road, Jasper, Georgia 30143. Important, this is very important. Due to the parking constraints, we find it necessary to limit the attendance this year to 150 persons. Therefore, timely RSVPs are requested no later than Monday, May 4th. When the 150 person limit is reached, we will, of course, give a timely notice. Also, we are putting a special touch on the event with live music presented by For His Name's Sake, a gospel trio comprised of Lisa and Kenny McGill, and North Georgia GMRS member Barry Suggs, Chattanooga 61. We have to break. Since this year's events will be at an outdoor location is dependent upon weather, the event could possibly be canceled with no contingency dates. Keep your eyes on your email in the dates leading up to May 9th, as we will be keeping our eyes on the weather and keeping you up to date. The menu's simple. Hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and the fixings, drinks, and dessert. Oh, there's no charge to attend. We want your attendance, not your money. We do ask that everyone bring chairs and easy-up tents for the party. The sun can be intense. Sunscreen and bug spray might be a good idea as well. This will be a great opportunity for the family to take a ride into the North Georgia mountains and experience some great views. Meet people you've all talked to on the radio, and in general, just meet some great people. The views from where Flagship is located are spectacular. For the radio enthusiasts of the family, you will see the intimate workings of a true commercial-grade repeater site, the one and only Flagship. We encourage you to bring your friends who might at some point be interested in radio. This is always encouraged. We do not require membership in the NGGMRS, in North Georgia GMRS to attend this annual event. Also, on your way to the event, you may want to tune in your radios to the Monument Repeater, where we will be monitoring and transmitting any critical updates and pertinent information related to the event. Here's the Monument Repeater info. You receive on 426.550 with a tone of 141.3. Monument receives on 467.550 with a tone of 141.3. Please RSVP NGGMRS events at gmail.com. We need the number in your party and their names for name tag purposes. Please mark that date on your calendar, and we hope to see you. There. That's it. If you have any questions or comments or news to share, please send an email to justin@nggmrs.org.
I have a question. When is it?
Oh, it's on the 9th.
What time?
It said we will open the gates at 11 and it starts at 12.
Are you just quizzing his memory?
Where is it located?
It's up high atop Sassafras Mountain at the site of the Flagship repeater. A true commercial grade repeater that we can tour.
Would that be at 2996 Monument Road?
It would be in Jasper, Georgia with a zip code of 30143.
Man, you are getting fast on the scroll. That is fantastic. All right. Well, okay. Well, I think that's it for. Are there any other announcements?
I mean, that's one of our longest ones yet, isn't it?
Just well, the third of the show.
And I was going to say any more, and you're going to have to pay Jim.
I think I've got it memorized now.
He's really memorized. He's really getting good at this. So that's good stuff. All right. What's next in our program here? Who's in charge? Is it Dana?
Dana's in charge.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me.
I do believe it's we need to take some check-ins.
Check-ins.
This isn't
what
that.
Check-ins. We forgot about check-ins.
All right. Yeah, I think.
Does anybody want to check in?
Well, let's go ahead and do that. We'll take some check-ins. Who is running the log tonight?
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess with that in mind, let's go ahead and we'll take some check-ins from any repeater on the North Georgia Amateur Radio Association Network.
Oh, there it is. Dun, dun, dun.
What's your call sign, Tony?
I got it in there. There's already one started. 4926.
Fantastic.
Bob in Woodstock.
I didn't get that.
KY4 JRT.
Bob in Woodstock.
Checking in, checking out.
No.
Probably KR4.
Oh, what did I put in there? KR4.
This is
I'm just going to
this
put
is Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Kilo Hotel KR4 EKH Dan for Marietta. This is Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango Colt in downtown Dalton.
This is Kilo Charlie 4, Romeo Lima Oscar, KC4 RLO, David Winder, checking in, checking out.
I see you in that spot. Did you get him?
I put him over there so we don't lose him.
Where?
This is
Right there.
Oh.
Kilo Quebec 4 Whiskey Echo Bravo.
Whiskey Bravo static.
Checking in, this is KR4 DDA, Kilo Romeo 4, Delta Delta Alpha. This is Gene in Livonia.
Jim, if you want to do 14, I'll get 15.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know where
Cool.
you're at.
I'm ready.
Just kind of every other
Yeah.
line. What am I got going on here?
Okay, so you guys have got all those.
All right. Jim, if you'll do it for a second, I'm gonna get a couple from YouTube.
I'm good. I'm ready. Standing by.
You got 14 or I got? No, I'm in 14.
Then I'll go
I'm
to
good.
15. Oh no, I'll go down.
WZ.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and acknowledge what we have. And if I get your call sign wrong, or if I don't call on you at all, it's probably because we've goofed up in here. So if you've checked in and we don't acknowledge it, please come back and try it again. But let me go ahead and acknowledge we've got from YouTube, we have W4DGA, Whiskey 4 Delta Golf Alpha Willard in Homer. We've also from YouTube, we've got Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Echo Bravo Ed in Kennesaw. And a brand new ham. This is
Dun, dun, dun,
a shiny and untarnished call sign.
Trumpets.
Trumpets.
dun,
The Kilo Romeo 4, Lima Delta Romeo. He's got two Romeos. He's a very handsome man.
The
Ronnie,
nickname, the Velvet Elvis, right?
the Velvet Elvis from Las Vegas. Congratulations on that shiny new call sign. Also from RF, our first check-in this evening, Kilo Romeo 4, Juliet Yankee Tango, Robert or Bob right here in Woodstock. Got you in the log. We've got Kilo 0, Alpha Mike Tango, Colt in downtown. Was that
Dalton.
Dalton, Georgia?
Is he in Dalton?
The carpet
Capital
capital
of the world.
of the world. Colt the Carpet Man. I'm not sure that
No,
works.
he's really called the Tire Man.
Yeah, the Tire Man sounds better than the Carpet Man, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's so many jokes that are only funny to me
Are they?
that I probably just need to move right along.
Right.
We've got David. We've got Kilo Charlie 4 Romeo Lima Oscar David in Winder. We've got Kilo Quebec 4 Whiskey Echo Bravo in here for a second time. So we made an RF check-in and a YouTube check-in, double dipping in logbook there. Ed, thank you for that. And Kilo Romeo 4 Delta Alpha Gene in Livonia.
Got Brett in there twice, too. I'm pulling him out once.
No, did he? Oh no, he's in there twice as YouTube. I
Yes.
see. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, we need the numbers, so go ahead and leave them in there as many times as you want.
You always say that. Remember, I delete him.
Yeah, well, the auditors will
I got
catch
a
it,
place.
but nobody
I got
listens
somebody
to
else to put in his place.
nobody listens
go.
to the auditors anyway. We've got Kilo 4 Whiskey. I'm sorry, that's Kilo Quebec 4 Whiskey Zulu November. Brett's in Hiram, checking in on YouTube. Kilo 4 Kilo Oscar Papa Mark in Rome. Kilo 4 Juliet Sierra Yankee. Jeremy in Ackworth. Kilo Quebec 4 Papa Foxtrot Bravo Mark in Adairsville. Let me break.
No, it's two different marks. Or do I?
No, it's
No,
KOP.
Yeah.
He didn't RFN though.
No.
All right, and just for good measure, we've got Mark in there twice. Kilo 4 Kilo Oscar Papa. So
He's worth it.
Yeah, he's definitely worth it. So was that second one a YouTube? Were they both YouTube
They're both
check-ins?
YouTube, so let me delete
We haven't
it.
heard him on the air.
No.
All right. Okay,
Just
so
like that is going.
oh man,
I do know he did his first soda the other day though.
fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, and Ed, if you're helping log in on the YouTube side, if we have any logins from the GMRS folks or people without a call sign, just go ahead and plug them in there as well, and we'll just mark them as well. They won't have a call sign. Just don't put anything in the call sign field for those. And I think that's it. So what are we talking about tonight? Anybody know? What's our topic?
Remote ops, something like that.
Radios in the field.
Field operation.
Field operations. So you remember the game Operation?
Oh, absolutely.
Little tweezers with a wire on it, and you had to reach in. And we have a full size, 5-foot tabletop
Oh, wow.
version of that with salad tongs with a wire.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit the edge or if you hit the foil that lines the compartment when you're trying to take out Frankenstein's bones, car horn goes off.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we break that out every Halloween.
Outstanding.
All right, so field operations. I don't think that's what we're talking about, though. Are
No, we're not, sutures or tourniquets, nothing like that.
we?
No,
Well,
not that kind of operation.
not that kind of operations
Oh, okay.
either. I hope. You never know. You never know what'll happen in the field. I mean,
Gotta be
because
prepared.
that's true. Now, if our prepper guy was here, David, he would talk about the tourniquet that he carries in all of his emergency preparedness first aid gear. But he's not here, so we just have to make up what we don't really know. And I see
Which is a
couple
lot.
of non-amateur radio check-ins tonight. It's great to know that we've got some of our GMRS friends hanging along.
Absolutely.
Great to have you. Great to have you in here. So, all right, let's go. Well, I'll tell you what. Before we do, go to the field. Let's go to
No pun intended.
right here and see if anybody in here has any experience or anything related to field operations that they want to talk about. Rogers, do you have anything?
Well, my first field operation started with GMRS and trying to get a better signal. Kind of live in a hole where my apartment is, so I would always go out. I have a 30-foot telescoping mast that I would put up, and once I tried doing that and added a different coax, a better coax, things got a lot better. So it's all about elevation and finding a good spot and just having fun with it. So field operations, I'm all for it. Most of the time when you hear me on the air, I am mobile for the most part. And let's break. But yeah, it's been fun. Using the Yagi directional antennas and trying different areas and elevations in the cityscape. So that's been a little challenging sometimes, but it's been a lot of fun, and you learn a lot about propagation and your radio reach. So that's my field ops.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think it can be different, for everybody how you operate in the field, or whether you operate in the field. For me, field operations is pretty much limited to whether or not I have an HT.
Yeah.
And whether or not I can figure out how to do VFO on the radio on the fly. I can remember it sometimes, and sometimes I can't. And so, I'm kind of handicapped in that regard because I just don't get out there that much to where I can play in the field. So I need to come hang out with you guys on Friday night and figure some of this stuff out.
Well, one thing that I do is I love like going into that cold plug and just having different banks and different things.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cold plug for my local mall, their security, and all of the radios that they're on, the frequencies. But even for amateur operations, I have a different bank of different simplex channels. So to get around that VFO moment there, trying to get to it quickly, I have a bank of just a row of 20 to 30 simplex channels.
So you're using radio reference to find these frequencies, or where do you go to, like for instance, the mall, the security guys at the mall. You're finding that online?
It was on radio reference.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It is a good source.
It is. So
there's some railroad fans out there. And all the railroad frequencies are listed there as well. So if you want to listen to railroad communications, you can pull those frequencies up and you can plug them in and listen.
Yeah.
So
and as you're going out and about, you'd be surprised at how many frequencies are not encrypted still these days.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun as well.
And that's something to enjoy. The railroad is still analog, but I think those days are definitely numbered. We're doing so much telemetry data. It's amazing how much data is coming off of those locomotives. And they're using all kinds of analytics to make determinations as far as maintenance on those machines and fuel consumption, and it's just crazy what they do with data and analytics these days. And it's just one more channel to put voice in on that path. It's just one more channel. So I think the days of our analog VHF radio out there in the field are going to be short-lived. I'd say 5 years or less. Nothing official coming about that, but it's just a way of things.
Sure.
Let's break.
Somebody on YouTube's asking if the repeaters are up.
Are they asking if the GMRS repeaters are up?
And it just says, are the repeaters up?
Yeah, so maybe they're expecting us to be on GMRS and we're on the amateur repeaters tonight. So, Tony, do you have any field ops you'd like to talk about?
I have none. I don't. My schedule and my thing, I don't get out much. I mean, other than driving over here in the vehicle, that's my field ops.
Okay.
So that's about all I get. But I do carry the two HTs in the truck. I have an antenna and all that in case I need to talk while I'm mobile.
Do you know how to tell who the best amateur radio operators are?
No. How many antennas?
No, it's really easy to tell because they're outstanding in their field. Jim, what do you have?
So I enjoy doing a lot of POTA. I'll have to wait for the laugh break for that one.
Outstanding in their field.
Outstanding in the field, and that's a big part of POTA, which is something that I enjoy a great deal. Have activated quite a few parks this month and try to get in 2 parks per weekend. They're not all successful. Sometimes I drag everything up to the top of Blood Mountain to realize I forgot the power cable. That's a true story that happened 4 weeks ago. And I got up to 3,000 foot of elevation, had it set up. It looked so beautiful. And as I went to turn the radio on, remembered that I had left a key part. I now have 3 of those in my vehicle and 2 of them in my backpack. And that's the joy of field operations, is that it's seldom perfect. And every single time you go in the field and set up a station, you have an opportunity to learn and get better at it so that you don't forget that stuff next time.
Every time you set up a sophisticated station of that nature, you're in a different environment, so different circumstances, different trees, different structure around you, different obstacles to overcome. So that's got to be at least half of the challenge,
if not more,
in the interest.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, remembering the key elements. So now you have multiples of that one thing that you left behind that one time. What's the next multiple thing that you're going to get?
It's about ground planes because, to your point, you don't know if are you going to be on rock? Are you going to be on moist ground? All of that has different reflectivity from an electromagnetic standpoint. So sometimes you need a couple of big radials. Sometimes you need a bunch of small radials. And then sometimes you have a Faraday cloth, one of those shiny blankets with a clamp on it. And you never know until you hook up the antenna analyzer and see where you're resonant and what you're dealing with from SWR. That changes every activation.
It's one thing a lot of people don't realize. Looking at SWR only tells part of the story. And an antenna analyzer can give you a whole lot more information. Everything about your antenna system, and it is a system. It's not just an antenna that's mounted on top of your HT, or that's mounted on your vehicle, or that's mounted on a mast. The antenna is a system, and that system consists of the feed line. It consists of the antenna itself, the environment it's surrounded by. Let's break. And there's so many other factors that come into play. The type of structures that it's surrounded by and things like that. And so, to your point, grounding or the counterpoise to your energized element can have a huge impact on your radio's performance. So that's something that I wouldn't think of right out of the gate. You know, I'm going to grab my HT and I'm just going to see what I get. But when you're trying to make those incremental improvements in your station's performance, those are things that all come into play. So good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Dana, what do you have for field operations? Do you go outstanding in your field?
I do a lot of WODA.
WODA? Oh, that's Walmart.
Walmart's on the air, you know.
What about recliners
I'm sorry,
on the
no,
air?
I have done very little field ops.
What about from your lawnmower? You wear the Heil Pro 7s while you're out there cutting the grass?
Well, you know,
Is that mic noise canceling?
Take into consideration where I live up here in the mountains. You might say I broadcast every day from a field op position.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, good stuff.
Can I get away with saying? Can I get away with that or no?
No, I mean, you just did. So, I think the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
So good stuff. That's a very interesting background. Is that the little
a
garden
Zen
area
garden
in your
or something?
by your foyer?
Is that a what?
Is that a little garden area there in your foyer?
That's my Zen background that I picked.
I like that. All right, very good. All right, and I guess that's the option, you know, that you can select if you don't want to actually pick up the room. So, yeah.
Well, moving on.
Moving on.
Do we
All
need to? Should we ID? Has it been that long? I don't know.
It hasn't been that long, but let's go ahead and throw one in there. Dana, why don't you go ahead and give us your ID again?
All right, this is November 0 Delta Lima Mike. My name is Dana.
And this is Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November. My name is Justin.
This is Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Sierra Bravo, and my name is Jim.
And this is November 4 Tango Victor Zulu Tony.
This is Kilo Romeo 4 Hotel Bravo Uniform Rogers.
And we are Kilo Mike 4 Golf Alpha. Is that right?
It's absolutely right.
Did I get that right?
I think so.
Sounds right.
All right. We're going to go with it, even if it's not right. Okay, let's take a break, and then we're going to go to the top of the roster. All right. At the top of the roster, it looks like we have Willard in Homer. That's going to be Whiskey 4 Delta Golf Alpha. Willard, can you tell us about your field operations? Oh, that's a YouTube check-in.
Is it?
Yeah. Willard can't tell us about his field operations unless he makes a comment in the YouTube chat.
I haven't seen one pop up yet.
Okay,
but
so
maybe Ed will let us know.
So let me go to the first radio contact that we had in the log, and that's going to be Robert Bob in Woodstock, Kilo Romeo 4 Juliet Yankee Tango. Bob, well, what comments do you have for field operations?
Well, I've only been doing this for about 7 weeks, so I haven't had much chance. So looking forward to getting out and doing something. So that's about all I got, guys. KR4 to JYT.
Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. And I tell you, for somebody who's new at this, I don't know that there's any better training grounds than Friday Night Simplex Challenge. Rogers, is there a better place to go to learn propagation and how to work a radio and how to fight conditions?
It's not. I was thinking about how he said he's been doing it for 7 months or 7 weeks. As a kid, I had a CBHT radio, and I was running around trying to talk to truckers. My dad gave me a CB radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing field ops since 10 years old.
Yep.
Really. But moving forward, yeah, Simplex, either on 2-meter or GMRS, no better way. And that's actually how I got my station better.
Right.
I learned about, I need a new coax. So
yeah.
I can't just go with the first thing I see off of Amazon. I need a new antenna now. I need a whole new radio.
Right.
So
Amazon is the worst place to go.
Yeah.
In terms of amateur radio or GMRS radio, there's so much junk on Amazon, and it's so easy to make those purchases. But honestly, your money is a lot better spent. Just be humble. Work the equipment and the station that you have until you learn what you need, and then. And how you learn what you need is you work the radio.
Right.
You just work the radio
before the illness takes over.
Right. Yeah, because I tell you, you spend. Here's the problem with Amazon, right? You can buy. It's only $20. It's only $30.
Right.
It's only $50.
Just that piece, yeah.
And before you know it, you've got $400 sunk into stuff that $200 would have done a better job for you. So, it's harder sometimes to make that $200 bite on a good antenna than it is to spend $400 on junk.
Right.
But honestly, if you can restrict yourself for making those impulse purchases, because so many times those things just don't work out the way they should. And I've got boxes full of crap that I bought off of Amazon that just is never going to come into play. It's just junk. And even places like HRO, the Hobbit Radio Shop, Chattanooga Radio, these are places you can go and you can speak to someone with experience and knowledge that can help you make better choices than anything you're going to buy on Amazon. If Amazon is your research platform,
go to your local ham fest too. That's where you really learn.
Or one of these luncheons.
Oh, luncheons are great.
Go hang out with some folks and have a meal and ask some questions. And I think that's probably your single best source in terms of how to learn new stuff. So Bob, if you have a chance to go to a luncheon, let's break. If you have a chance to go to any of these luncheons, that's an opportunity for you to hang out, ask questions from people that want to answer your questions, people that are just as excited as you are about radio. So there's lots of events coming up. This Saturday we have the event down in Fayetteville, at that church. Do you know what that church was called?
I do not. It slipped my mind, but
it slipped his. He had it memorized.
I did momentarily,
but he doesn't have it memorized anymore.
And I think for Robert being in Woodstock, Ed's luncheon would probably be the closest one for him.
If he can get there on a Tuesday, that's the challenge. So the Harps Crossing Baptist Church in Fayetteville is hosting an event Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's free, and there's free coffee and donuts while they last. So you have to get there before I do. If you want more
Jim,
info,
don't let him get it. He still has his up.
I know.
What it is.
I just got to it.
I won Doom Scroll Challenge.
Doom Scroll.
So
Mountain Dew and donut holes.
if you want more information, the URL is a little bit tricky, but it's // KK4GQ Kilo 4 Golf Quebec.org /Peachy. Go to that webpage, more information about that. And like Tony had mentioned, here in the Ackworth, Woodstock, Kennesaw area, Ed has an event on Tuesdays. When's his next gathering? On the 14th? So that's coming up on Tuesday the 14th at noon at the Old Town Grill in Cobb Parkway. Great place to ask questions and learn more and get a much deeper involvement. And I think everything else that we do is during the week. The Northeast Crew is a Wednesday. Chattanooga group is on a Friday. But lots of opportunities if you happen to be retired or work a kind of a job that allows that flexibility. Or Saturday. Hang out with Pamela and company on Saturday the 18th at JR's Log House. I've been there. It's a great place to eat. You'll probably drive by it the first time. It's not that big of a deal to just make a U-turn half mile down the street, come on back, and find your way into their driveway.
Sounds
Plenty
like
of
it come from experience.
plenty of parking, and a fantastic menu, and it's very affordable.
It is.
I think that Julie and I think our check came to like $16 or $17. I think
beat
we're
that.
just over 20 with tip.
That's good.
If you do $20 for two people, you're doing a lot
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So very, very affordable. Let's break. So Bob, I hope that's good information for you and can get you into your 8th week of amateur radio.
Yeah, it won't be long. He'll be obsessed.
That's right. Let's check out. Let's see if.
It won't be long, and he'll have a flex or something like that.
You're right. I would have the flex now if A, I had the money, and B, I had a place to set it up. So two handicaps that I've got, and I'm working on one of them. So I hope to have the studio, the upstairs portion of the studio set up as my own personal ham shack in the next year or so. We've got Colt in. Where's Colt? He's in the
Capital
Capital of the world.
Capital
Dalton, Georgia.
Carpet.
Yep.
Capital Carpet something
Lovely
or other.
downtown Dalton.
Yes. Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango. Colt, go ahead.
This is Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango coming to you from the carpet capital of the world. I'm an inspiring train conductor in my life. So I guess the topic tonight is field operations. Is that correct?
That is correct, but I just have to wonder if you're more of a conductor or an insulator.
Radio silence.
That train joke just derailed.
Oh no! It is dad
I thought it
jokes
had more to do
tonight.
with power. He was conducting power.
I'm not sure. Apparently, that train joke derailed. Colt, go ahead. Somebody's on the key.
No. Not I.
Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango.
More technical issues.
We are. Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango.
I'm not seeing anything on the chat.
All right. All right. We've lost Colt. His battery must be dead.
Maybe.
I'm thinking that's probably what happened. So that and the train joke derailed. So we're going to continue on. We'll try to come back to Colt here in a little bit. So Colt, if you're getting yourself sorted out, hang in there. We'll come back to you. Tony won't let me forget, will you, Tony? Next on our list, we have Kilo Charlie 4, Romeo Lima Oscar David in Winder. David, what are your comments related to field operations?
Is it working?
Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango's back up whenever.
Oh, he's back.
Hey,
Colt's
Colt, back up.
All right, Colt. Stand by 1. Let's try one more time for David in Winder. All right, David's probably moved on to one of the 19 other nets that happens on Thursday night. So, Colt, go ahead.
This is Kilo 0 Alpha Mike Tango. Sorry, I was running a man pack and the battery died, as in glorious nature. Yeah, so I've been working with a company called Everly Stock. They have a bag called the Romad. I sent some of those pictures in. That being said, we've taken one of their military bags that's supposed to run the PRC 152s and 117s, the large man pack stuff, and they've converted it to work with armor lock. So I don't know if you see the armor lock cages we use with the 857s, 891s, G90s, things of that nature. So it's been converted for civilian use to work with the armor lock crates. We got some pictures of those up. It's on their website and their Facebook. You can see what we've done there. But I'm pretty big in the man pack side. I have a self-contained man pack with an 857. I've got multiple 857s and then a G90 if I need one of those. But the bigger thing with having the man pack ready to go at all times with multiple batteries, I have a spool antenna, everything I need to operate for emergency communications, HF, VHF, UHF, Mesh-tastic, my county-issued stuff, is I have an old FCM1 tablet that I've converted over to run Linux. And it's running MCOM tools from the Tech Prepper. And it's pretty cool. I can run my JS8 call. I can do ABSD exchange where I can track planes. I can do ET predict where I can predict making contact between two individuals. My main goal is not just to make random contacts. My main goal is to make targeted contacts, i.e., hey, we've lost power, the repeaters are down, I need to get a hold of Dana. How can I do that on HF? So when I do field ops, I'm not trying to TX and get the world winner for hitting Brazil or whatever. That is fun and all, but my main goal is to learn how to make targeted contacts at different frequencies, different times a day, because I want to pick up the radio and use it like a cell phone. Back to you, Net Control.
Colt, this is Jim. We've been putting pictures of what you've been talking about up there, including your spread out man pack with your G90 and everything like that. So as you were describing it, we were showing that on YouTube.
It's going through batteries.
Kilo Zero AMT, are you out there, Colt?
There goes another battery.
See, that's the thing about man
It
packs.
is late in the day,
If
though,
you want it
so-
to be light and you want to really move, you've got to keep the batteries small. But the trade-off is they don't last very long.
Yeah, because you have there's like a 1 pound
Yeah,
challenge
exactly.
too, right?
Right,
Where you
right.
gotta take your whole gear's got to weigh a pound.
No, that's a real thing for someone that's on the air. And Colt's got some radios, and you saw that little orange one I
Right, the
brought
little
in?
small
Yeah,
ones.
that one, it weighs just ounces.
Well,
So another resource that we might make use of for field operations is a line of sight tool, and a propagation predictor tool that Mike Beauchamp has developed. So this is something that if you go to it's November 4 MikeXrayBravo.com. If you go to that webpage, and maybe we can do that while we're talking about this, there's an app that you can plug in GPS coordinates, right out of your phone. You can pick a repeater out of repeater book, and it will download the GPS coordinates out of that repeater, and you can locate those two points of contact and determine whether or not you have line of sight, and have some kind of prediction regarding your propagation to that location. So some great tools there. You can load that on a phone, and you can, excellent, thank you for bringing that up. You can load that up on a phone, and you can take that with you, and that's a great tool to help out with. Rogers, do you think that would have been useful in your early days of trying to figure out?
I learned about tools like this about a year in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow, this makes so much sense now. And then topography maps and all of that. And I'm like, oh, I'm at the wrong elevation. Let me just go a mile down the road, and I'm up 100 feet higher.
Well, tell you what's really cool about this app is this is being developed by somebody that we can contact, and we can say, hey, Mike, this works great. Or, hey, Mike, I really wish it could do this, or I wish it would do that, or I wish it were these colors instead of those colors so you can see it at night. We can plug in and make connections and refine this the way that we think it needs to work, and we have a much better chance as opposed to if this is being developed by some Silicon Valley entity. Good luck making a recommendation that means anything.
Right.
So we can have some weight and some influence as to how this is shaped and organized, and how you input data and how you collect things. So one of the things that Mike is working on is access to the APIs with Repeater Book. It's something you had working, and then they changed their policies and require special access for their APIs now. That being the case, he's applied for and still waiting for that permission or that access or whatever that process is. So once that's done, the repeater book function will happen. What's cool about that is you find a repeater, you just select it, and it will populate the GPS data in the tool and will help you determine where you are versus where that repeater is, and establish whether or not you have line of sight or if you have a predictable possibility of propagation.
It's like a cheat code.
Yeah. Dana, is that a tool that you use on Mount Olympus to determine whether or not someone out far afield is going to be able to make contact with your radio establishment there in Mount Olympus?
My radio establishment. To tell you the truth, no. We a long time ago, and Rogers knows about this, we had really pushed making what we call a footprint map. And within that footprint, and there's ways to test your propagation, so you can mark your borders on your map as far as where you can reach to. And then you fill in everybody you can talk to or you have talked to, on previous dates within the confines of that footprint. So when it comes time to needing emergency comms, you know who you can reach.
And I think that's
If that
great.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does, and I think that's a great tool to have in your bag. If you, whether it's just scribbled notes on, one of the handouts that we give to people for North Georgia GMRS, if you're using that as your map and you're a pen and you're just drawing lines and circles and scribbling call signs, and it can be as simple as that, or you can get into something more sophisticated.
It can, or you can go extravagant, use Google Earth like I did. I mean,
yeah, and what a powerful tool that is. And there's a lot of functionality even within Google Earth in terms of being able to determine line of sight.
Right.
So one of the things that you might find with the line of sight tools is they follow the topography of the ground, but they don't necessarily follow topography of the buildings that might be on the ground. So if you're in an urban area or if you're in a metro area, you may have some differences between the topology that Google is showing versus what the real world is. The topology that's affected by things like homes and woods is minimal compared to, a whole row of high rises. So,
and that's why even for simplex, I would always find myself looking for parking garages that go up 5, 6, 7 floors, and then that would give me a kind of a good advantage over the terrain below.
Another 50 feet's another 50 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the difference between 10 feet and 20 feet is huge. So, if you can just get, I hear about all the time the collapsible painter's pole that you can buy at the hardware store. You can extend those out to about 15 feet sometimes.
30 feet. What, 24 feet?
I have a 24-footer, yeah.
So yeah. And then if you can just stick an Edfong or some simple antenna on the end of that, let's break. Now you have something that you can extend out and have considerable elevation with your antenna, and you can fold it up and stick it in your trunk, and leave it there until the next time you need it. So those are some great field tools. A lot of the stuff you've pioneered personally.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
But and now and then like Dana says, the sickness kicks in, and so you have a 24-foot painter's pole. That's nice, but is there a 30-footer out there? Is there 40 feet, 50?
And at what point does it become
crazy.
so unwieldy? Or if you've got it extended up, can you actually maintain it, or do you have to have more structure
Now you put
to
guide wires on
secure it
Exactly.
to? Right.
So I have this I don't know what you call it, but it's like a little hole that you roll your tire of your car over and you put the
Yeah, the
mast
flag
in there.
holder. Yeah, the
flag holder.
the
That's
car
it.
mast holder. Yeah, absolutely. I've got one of those.
Yeah.
They work quite well.
I learned about that later on in the game. But like you said, Justin, I was putting that flagpole against structures or different things like that, and you just keep trying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or you go to one of the lunches and you talk to the folks who have already have the scar tissue. And if you're just getting into it and you want to do it, these lunches are a great way to go and look at our scars and ask us what worked, and you will leapfrog.
Yeah, then you figure out I'm just getting started.
Yes.
I know nothing.
Absolutely. All right, let's continue on. Next on the list is Kilo Quebec 4 Whiskey X-Ray Bravo Ed in Kennesaw. Ed, tell us about your experience with field operations.
Well, good evening, folks. It's Kilo Quebec 4 Whiskey Echo Bravo. But haven't done too much since I got my general license. I've been playing more with HF and setting up some antennas in the back. But, the Friday night Simplex Challenge is the one that I participated in the most. And like others have talked about, finding high spots in the area so that I know if I have to, the 2 or 3 locations near me where I can get out and propagate over any local hills or buildings or what have you. But it's a great experience and a great learning experience that I would recommend as well to anybody. Back to you.
Yeah, I think the Friday night at 9 offers some tremendous opportunity in terms of self-education and self-training. That combined with the lunches that we've talked about, I think this is a uniquely valuable environment in which, if you want to get engaged at a deeper level of radio, the resources for that are here, right here in North Georgia. And I don't think you could have a better operating environment if you wanted to learn, radio. So good stuff, Ed. Thanks for your help tonight. Thanks for helping out with the YouTube logging. Any comments that you see in YouTube that you feel like need to be brought to the discussion?
No, just a lot of folks have been joining in. I unfortunately cannot get to the log. It stops at April 2nd for me, so I haven't been able to log in the call signs, but monitoring for comments and responding to those as they come in.
All right, I just sent a new share. It is a different log than the GMRS log, so take a look at that, and we're at 4926 Mobile Ops tab, so you should be able to find that here in just a moment. We'll let you poke around at that, and then we'll let's continue on. Who do we have that's
One
next?
more left.
Looks like Gene, Kilo Romeo 4 Delta Alpha. Gene in Livonia. Am I saying that right? Livonia?
I think so.
Gene, do you have any comments for field operations?
Maybe you offended him how you pronounced it.
Maybe.
No, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Lithonia?
Livonia?
I think
Is
it's
it with a V?
Lithonia, isn't it? I don't know. Lithonia?
No, that's with a V, I think.
4 of us, and we
Yeah.
have no idea.
And everybody pronounces it differently.
Yes.
All right. All right. All right. With that, I'm going to go ahead. That is the end of our RF roster. David in Winder did comment that he can't hear the repeater very well, and he moved to YouTube. So thanks for letting us know, David. Appreciate that. The rest of these check-ins are YouTube check-ins, and some of them are even GMRS check-ins. So we have a check-in from WSAT 592, and a check-in from WRSN 677. Those would be GMRS check-ins on YouTube. Also on YouTube, we've heard from Kilo Quebec 4, Mike, Juliet, Oscar, Joe in Cleveland, and we've got Kilo Charlie 4, Romeo Lima Oscar. Oh, that's David from, he's already in the log. Thank you, David, for your comment. And Kai, we've got Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform Delta X-Ray. Kai's also one of our YouTube check-ins. Glad to have you back, Kai. And that's the end of the roster. So we're going to go ahead and take a round of check-ins or any questions or comments. Did you have something?
Mark had a couple comments on YouTube. The one I liked was he's tested 12 radios and 15 different antennas on Friday night Simplex, and he's like, take notes.
Take notes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess if you're gonna, and I guess that's one way to do it. Take a radio, commit to using that radio that night on that event. Because I mean, if you have a lousy experience, you can bring a different radio next time.
And Mark has plenty of radios.
He has done it. He has done it so well and for so long. They named the mountain after him, Avery's Peak.
Avery's Peak. I like it. Yeah, I think my peak happened a long time ago. So
high school.
We're on the downhill side now. But we are picking up speed, so we do have that going for us. All right, let's go ahead and take a break for any additional check-ins and any questions or comments. We'll take a break. If you have a comment, just give us a call sign and say comment. And, of course, if you're checking in, give us the call sign, and we'll throw that in there as well. And while we're doing that, we're going to let Tony figure out what else we've got going on YouTube.
Oh, and I think this is Mark's bag right here that Tony just pulled
that's
up.
Mark's bag from his first soda activation where he climbed up on top of the mountain and brought his FTX1 that you see right there in that picture, and he was talking to a bunch of us from that mountaintop. I was down by Savannah, and we invised back and forth to each other.
Right. Well, I got him too, from Holly Springs. And I think Mike, the app, he got him too.
That's
Blue Ridge.
correct.
Mike heard him as well.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
So.
All right. Well, and that looks like a very, very easy to carry rig.
Little 5-watt.
And that
rig.
spool antenna. He's got the same spool antenna that Colt was talking about. It's a tiny way to have a long wire antenna.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Let's go ahead and break. We'll break and we'll stand by for any additional questions, comments, or late check-ins.
KQ4 MJL. Late check-in, no traffic on field operations. Bobby over in Cleveland, White County, at the vortex. In and out, in and out.
This is Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Kilo Hotel KR4EKH, Dan from Marietta. I have to be in and out as I'm not exactly at the radio all the time. I tried checking in earlier on Buckhead, was not successful. Maybe I have a radio problem, I suppose. Let me know if you hear me.
This is Kilo Quebec 4 Yankee Bravo Tango KQ4 YBT Joseph in Snellville. Short time check in and out, no traffic, back to net.
I think I might have typed over 23. Did I typo or somebody? Oh, okay. I'm trying to get to YouTube.
That's why I dropped low on the Joseph one.
That's fine.
And then moved it back up.
know. Did we get your Dan?
We got Dan in there.
Okay.
Now.
Colt had a comment on YouTube as if we're in Studio B, or you're fixing Studio B, we're Studio A.
That would be in the hole.
In the hole?
In the hole.
In a hole.
Yeah. In the hole. All right. So how is it that I'm not sure what we have here, but I heard Bobby and I don't see his check-in.
Oh, you know what? Did I type over it?
So I definitely heard Bobby. We heard Dan, Kilo Romeo 4, Echo Kilo Hotel. Dan, I heard you earlier in the evening, and somehow I think we're entering on top of each other and canceling out some checks here. So
That's happened.
Okay, there's Bobby. Okay, so Dan, I've got you acknowledged. Bobby is going to be Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Juliet Lima. Thank you for your check-in tonight. And Joseph, we've got Kilo Quebec 4, Yankee Bravo Tango. And this would be a YouTube check-in from Kilo Romeo 4, Kilo Juliet Golf. Jonathan, thanks for checking in tonight. And everybody said they had no traffic. We don't really play that on the Hamnet. We call on everybody. So are we going to let them slide?
Bobby doesn't get any kind of grace, does he?
No, I don't think so. At a minimum, I have to know if he's at the Vortex and what was on the menu tonight.
We need to know because, Joe checked in earlier.
Right.
So.
And he was pretty sly. He didn't really, So, Bobby.
Nobody slides.
I think that field operations tonight is going to consist of what was on the grill.
What was on the grill? I don't know.
KQ4 MJL. Yeah, we had smoked corned beef pastrami Reuben things. Joe smoked it during the day. Really good. But I was working on my truck all day, so I'm kind of tired. That's why I said I get no traffic. I haven't done any field operations. But yeah, that's about it. Back to you, Ned.
Bobby is a double general extra. You would think that he would get out and do this stuff.
Well,
Bobby didn't hear any of that.
Bobby didn't hear any of that because I didn't have the PTT down. But Dana had commented.
Go ahead and say it again, Dana.
I said Bobby is a double general extra. You would think, God, with all those accolades, that he'd be on top of this stuff.
You would think, but I tell you, I'm going to speak for Bobby here for just a moment. He can come back and rebut this if he wants to, but I think the field operation for Bobby was just getting out there to take the test. He travels in small circles, and I think that's just the way he likes it. He's not an out and about kind of a guy.
I don't know. I think he's opening his horizon. I heard he's going digital as well too. Is that right? He's been on DMR a little bit. That's what I hear.
Wow.
I haven't heard him on DMR, but the rumor is.
I've got to get my All-Star node up. I got an email from them telling me that.
Early on, I bought him a 2-star general's flag. That if he were to go out in field ops, he could hoist that thing up and make some claim.
No, the double general extra. It's a classic. I mean, that's not a story that really just anybody can tell. So, I mean, how many times have you ever been to, amateur radio testing and they've lost your test? They've lost your results.
That's never happened to me. Nobody wants.
Yeah. Well. And nobody that's brand new knows this, but if you're going to take a test, you need to have possession of your 605 form at the conclusion of that test. That's your proof that you've passed. And if you don't have that, then it's just whatever. So any testing entity should be able to produce a 605 form for you. That's going to be the document that shows that you passed the test. And it's going to have the acknowledgement from the 3 VEs that were there to witness your your grading of that passing test. So all things that I'm learning in the process of
becoming a VE.
Well, I am a VE, but now I'm taking that extra step of learning how to conduct all of the elements of presenting the elements. So good stuff. All right, Bobby, thank you for that. And Dan, thanks very much for your second effort at a check-in. Understand you've got lots of pans in the fire, so we'll cut you some slack. And Joseph, I'd love to hear some explanation as to your field operations. You've become very busy in radio and other things, and I've got a feeling that I've timed out.
You got a feeling?
Yeah, it feels like,
or a light that's telling you.
It feels like I've timed out. Let's break. So I'm just wondering if field operations is something that comes into play, when you're out judging barbecue or you're at a barbecue competition or, these kind of things. It seems to me there's a way to apply radio to just about everything that we do. And I have to wonder if that's something that you've kind of worked amateur radio into your other hobbies, or if that's just not something that you really pick up on.
Kilo Quebec 4 Yankee Bravo Tango. Well, my entire experience in field operations is assisting in setting up the IRIS communications with the space station. I ran hundreds of feet of coax, more coax than I've ever seen at one place before. And not only did I put it up, but I helped tear it down. So that's really the extent of my experience there, and I can chat about that, but otherwise I don't have any. Back to Ned.
I'd kind of forgotten about the fact that you were involved in that. So what Joseph is talking about is he was involved in a project where his amateur radio club provided the means for high school or middle school students to talk with space station astronauts. So this is something that that they have a really sophisticated antenna system that's mounted on a trailer. And this antenna system is capable of tracking a satellite specifically. Excellent. Glad you were able to find that and get that on the screen. Tracking a satellite or a space station as it orbits around us. So as it comes up on the horizon, this tower will know exactly where to point its Yagi antennas, its directional antennas, to be able to pick up that space station or that satellite. And it knows the path to trace that orbiting object through the sky, and it will track electronically and follow that device. So if you ever played with any of the satellite communications with an HT, Rogers, have you ever done that?
Not yet.
So I mean the Bofang, any of them you can do that with. The key is that you want to orient your HT horizontally, because you're polarizing differently than you would be if you're trying to talk terrestrially. So you orient horizontally. And that way you can be polarized to be able to go straight up into the sky for the satellite comms. And if you know if the satellite's coming from the south and going to the north, or if it's coming from the southeast and heading northwest, you want to stand in such a way so that your antenna has the best polarization for that pass as possible. Simple HT stuff, all right? It's as simple as it gets.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
When you do that, you're going to tune your radio to, I don't remember, is it transmit? You're going to transmit at 2 meter, and you're going to listen at 440. Okay? And so each satellite's going to have its frequencies listed. You have to go online to find those. But so the Bofang will do the dual watch. So it's perfect for that. So you can transmit on your VHF side, and you can listen on the UHF side. And it's very cool. You just throw your call out, and you see if anybody will answer that call. And it might take 4 or 5 tries. Now, with using that technique, you've got maybe 5, 7, 8 or 9 minutes at the most to be able to work that satellite while it's overhead. But with this rig on a tower, we're going to turn that 7 minutes into about 15, because that high gain antenna is very precisely aimed at the point on the horizon where that satellite's going to come up, and it's going to track that satellite very accurately as it goes overhead. And so you're going to keep it the whole time. Whereas if you're just standing there with an HT, you got it, you don't have it. Let's break. So you've got it, and then you don't have it, and then you've got it again, and you're going to go through some of that. They're not going to have that. Once they've acquired that space station, they're locked onto that baby, and they're not going to lose it until it's over the horizon. So this is a very cool thing that Joseph was involved in.
Oh, yeah.
In being able to help out and assist with that, and inspire the next generation of potential science enthusiasts, because of the space association with the astronauts, the science related to radio, and how cool is that you can, set up a radio in a school gymnasium or in a school cafeteria and have, contact with the space station.
I would have loved that as a student, as a kid growing up, because, when we're growing up, we read about a lot of things all the time in books. We might see it on television, but rarely do you get a chance to actually get hands-on and talk to the people actually on the mission.
Right.
I mean, that would be amazing for me as a kid. Like, that would blow my mind.
Yeah.
And kids can come up and ask why those antennas, those Yagis, have antennas on offset by 90 degrees. That's because, and you can really geek out here, they're circularly polarized, so it holds a polarization that will rotate as the satellite goes over because of Faraday rotation as the signals come in and out of the atmosphere. I only know that because I'm currently studying for my extra exam.
Fantastic.
I was about to say, Jim, you sound like you kind of know everything about this.
I memorized those test questions.
Yeah.
It's and that's a fascinating aspect to satellite and space station communications, and what a cool thing to have been able to be a part of. I've seen this rig in action a handful of times at the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. It wasn't there last year. I don't know why. I hope it's there next time. But very, very cool piece of kit. And, the technology behind it. And it's not brand new. This isn't like latest, greatest stuff. There's probably, I've seen people using Arduinos and stepper motors, building homemade versions of this that mount to a camera tripod. So you can do this at home. You may not get 15 minutes. You may get 12 minutes. But basically what you're accomplishing is you're keeping your high gain antenna focused on where that satellite or where that space station is for the duration of time that it's available to you. And
like on this one, they talked. What is this? The Artemis, right? Yep. No, the ISS.
The ISS, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the ISS is much easier because it's in a low orbit, right, as opposed to Artemis, which requires the Deep Space Network.
Okay.
Yeah, Artemis would be a challenge to get, and it's a limited window, right? And once it's it's on its way back, it's going to be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m. is the splashdown.
So, and now at that point, your opportunity to communicate with Artemis is over until the next launch, whenever that is, in 2 years or whatever it ends up being. Let's break. So I think that's going to be a fleeting opportunity at best, and I don't know what frequencies Artemis is operating on, if it even has amateur equipment on it.
13 centimeter microwave, 2.3 gigahertz.
So that's not covered in your extra privileges.
It is not.
Yeah. Therefore, you can monitor that if you have the right equipment, but you cannot transmit on those frequencies. Monitoring is going to be challenging because those are gigahertz frequencies. So you're going to need a satellite dish. You're going to need an LNB. You're going an LNA, and you're going to need the right kind of tuner to be able to operate. I don't know that the little $40 SDR dongle is going to be able to get the sensitivity and the frequency range that you need for that.
There are some people on YouTube that took old dish TV type dishes and have modified the taken out the LNB, put an LNA, and actually were able to receive parts of the transmission.
So geeking out as you are in this particular conversation, I once sat in on a forum where they talked about amateur radio astronomy using satellite dishes in an LNA. And what's cool about that is you can create a phased array with you and all the other nerds that are out there doing the same thing.
Aggregated.
And now you have a dish with an effective collection area that is far greater than the Arecibo was before its demise.
Mm-hmm.
Far greater.
Far greater.
So the potential in actually finding a signal is tremendous. So that's cool stuff. That's very cool stuff. I don't think I have a satellite dish for that purpose. I'm pretty sure I don't.
No, I haven't had a satellite dish since I got rid of DirecTV.
Yeah. All right. Okay, good stuff. Colt, I think, has an additional comment. Let's go back to Colt and who do we have from Berkeley? Is that?
I don't know.
That's a YouTube check-in.
Yes.
From Kilo Oscar 6, Mike Sierra Mike. That's very cool. That did not come up because he's not a member. But that's okay. He doesn't have to be a member.
We appreciate the guest check-in on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. We're going to throw his call sign up there anyway. We're glad to have Kilo Oscar 6, Mike Sierra Mike, checking in with us. Colt, do you have any additional comments before we close the show?
Yeah, this is Kilo Zero Alpha Mike Tango. Justin, we've all talked about our kits. What is your field operation kit? What is your bug out setup? What does it look like?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's got 4 wheels and a trailer.
Let's call it Vanguard.
Yeah, I've got two options. The first one's in
Vanguard.
first one's in my hand, and I believe its battery is currently dead. So all right. So option 2 is going to be this guy, the iPhone 11. I think it's an 11. I can't keep track. And once its battery's dead, then I'm going to have to just come on out to Vanguard and
fire up the generators.
Fire up the generators. I'll have to,
Turn the air on.
I guess the next thing I need to do is start looking at some solar for Vanguard. We've got the battery plant, so we need a way to charge the battery plant when we don't have shore power. I don't know. I'm more of a bug-in guy than a bug-out guy. If I can't make my stand here, then I'm not sure I want to play.
True.
When we lived in Fort Wayne, there's a depot outside of Fort Wayne. They called it the Cassad. And the Cassad had stockpiles of things like mercury, cadmium, lead, massive piles of these minerals, so that if we got into a strategic situation and we couldn't import or we couldn't mine these things, these were strategic stockpiles for industry to be able to make use of. They're not there anymore. It's all gone. In fact, the mercury was a huge thing because the mercury was stored in these steel vessels that leaked, and so the mercury's all over the place, and big hazmat cleanup, and just mercury is like the worst thing ever today. Right. But 50, 60 years ago, it was a huge national resource, and so anyway, all that stuff is gone now. But for years and years during the Cold War era, that was one of the locations that was on the A list of strategic sites that would get nuked by the Soviets.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
that's good to
get
know.
You feel important.
Yeah. So and living within 12 to 15 miles of that, that's kind of.
We're no better safe here in Atlanta, though.
No. So my prayer is that if we get hit by a tactical nuclear strike, I think I want to be at ground zero rather than 15 miles away. I don't want to be in a survivable region and have to play zombie apocalypse for the next 15 years. I want to be right there at ground zero, so there's the bright flash, and that's it. That's it. It's done. I'm out, guys. I'm out. See you later. So that's my my whole philosophy in this. Now, if it's not a tactical situation and I do have to survive, I'm probably not going to be very happy about it.
No.
So, time to time out.
Time to time out.
So there you go, Colt. That's my bug out plan. I'm going to bug in, and I'm going to hang out here the best I can, and I'll probably be pretty grumpy. So if I catch you on the air, that's one thing, but you might not want to hear from me.
So what's the difference
Sounds like
between
you
then
get
and
very
now?
often. All right, well, appreciate it. Y'all had a great night. Y'all sound amazing. Love the beard game. The beard game's pretty good tonight. This is Kilo Zero from my back to y'all.
All right, Colt, good stuff. And Dana, do you have the script up? Do you know how to close out the evening here?
Well, I know how to close my part.
Who's
This is me then, right?
Who's got the yellow text?
I do.
There are other people involved in this.
So what are you trying to say, Dana? You're waiting on me? Is that what you're? Is that just go ahead and say
yeah,
it?
I think that's.
Okay,
I'm waiting on you.
This concludes the biweekly NGARA Regional Net.
And next week on the North Georgia GMRS Network, we leapfrog back and forth. We will talk about encouraging friends and family to engage in two-way radio. Sounds pretty cool.
Doesn't it, though? We would like to thank you for allowing us to serve as your net controller this evening. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and remember, comments in the chat show interaction with the channel and go a long way towards helping the channel grow.
Well, good night, everyone. This is KR4HBU Rogers.
N4TVZ Tony.
KQ4TSB Jim.
Kilo November 4 Hotel Yankee November Justin, and
we are North Georgia Amateur.
We got one more.
November 0 Delta Lima Mike. This is Dana, and we are clear.
Go ahead, Rogers.
Yeah, that was the other and Dana. Sorry. And good night, everyone. We are North Georgia Amateur Radio Association.
All right, good night, folks.
Night. One guy said, or somebody said that there's 3.